Hello! Alright, so I was thinking today, when we were doing our, Borderlands and Magicka streams, I said, like, oh, I don't do a lot of these midnight streams anymore, and I thought, I should try that anyway. I think that'd be... I'm, I plan on playing some Eternal tonight anyway, so... Why not? That seems fun. So, I'm here. I'm gonna do Eternal Draft, maybe some ranked play with and alterations on the deck I have built. It's I think V like 6 right now, but yeah. Let me turn the game up a little bit. I turn it down on my side just because it's always a little bit of an annoyance when it's loud and I'm trying to listen to something else. But if it's just the thing that's going on, like that's good, you know. That'll be good. Anyway, let's... Actually, the first thing I was gonna do, I actually wanted to go into here and make some alterations. Yeah, maybe I'll do this later. I just feel like I need a lower curve on this. And also the removal of the obliterates and flame blasts hasn't been great. Anyway, I see people are here. Nick Themeron, Father Wolf, Connect Gibbon. Hi. Hello, everybody. I think I'm just going to jump right in on the draft. Ooh. That's a noise. Alright, let's go ahead and do it. We've got enough for 4 drafts in the pocket. Shelter Wing Rider. So this is our rare here. Flying Aegis, while Shelter Wing Rider has plus 5 attack while she has an Aegis. It is an unseen bird. I disagree. I can see the bird. It's right there. But maybe other people other than myself and her cannot see the bird. This thing's extremely strong. And a really good reason to try to play out these colors. Even if it takes the Aegis down, like even if we lose the plus 5 power, an 0/4 flyer is still big enough to contend with most flyers. Like 3/3 flying is like kind of the baseline top end, and I guess Stormcrasher is a little bit more. We could also have ways in our deck maybe to hand off the Aegis again if we had Spell Shield Architect or something like that, so we could repair it. I think that card specifically is competing with Stormcrasher. I do not believe it's competing with Spell Shield Architect, as if I was picking between the two. Shelter Wing Rider is the stronger of them. Journeyman Armor is also strong just for being a good curve card. Clan Hero as well for how it plays out. The only problem I have with picking Shelter Wing Rider immediately is that it is a 2-color commitment. And the question is it strong enough as a 2-color card to make me stick around in those colors? And Hooru is maybe my favorite combination to play as of now. Hooru plus time, usually, in the draft format. But it's going in on a color immediately can lead to, you have to be aware of if the dice roll your direction later, and perhaps you either open a rare of some value in a different color, or you're willing to jump ship, you know? So I think I'm gonna try it out. I think this is an interesting enough card, and I think it's powerful enough to try. So the trick with drafting in Eternal versus drafting in Magic is that you have a lot more cards you can cut, and you have a pretty high playable count. So usually you're having a lot of cards on the cutting room floor anyway, so you can afford a couple picks like this. And maybe we'll see, Champion of Order. At the start of your turn, double Champion of Order. At the start of your turn, play a copy. Oh, dear. So if I'm at 5-5, and this isn't killed immediately, the game ends? Isn't killed immediately and the game ends. Interesting. That's really strong, if both of those are on. Even if just the green one is on, that's a strong card. Two activations, it's an 8/8. Third activation, it's a 16/16 that kills your opponent. The ground is, yeah, definitely has to be on, or else this card is garbage. Is just like the worst costing creature of all time. A 5 costing 2/2. That's different than other champions, such as Champion of Chaos, which is a 3 costing 3/3. So when it's not on, it's still an on curve body, or even like the Champion of, is it Justice? The one that's in Elysian. Anyway, Champion of Order is going to be the pick here. Let me take a look at anything else that might matter. Emerald Ring is a card I would not be sad to play if we have a bunch of evasive units. Stalwart Silver Ring is another card that would benefit from it. But let's go on the Champion of Order and see how it plays out. Ooh, okay. A Storm Crasher immediately available to us as a flying threat. One of the best flying threats we can have, actually. Being a Wind Drake that can become a 4/4 flyer, turn into the Air Elemental late game. So let's go ahead and, that seems really good. The other cards in here, Purify is a strong card. It definitely is number Wang when it's on. That is 100% number Wang when it's on. Yeah, Purify is a strong card in here. Silence. Jawbone Hatchet is okay. It's better if you have some sort of like Reforge or ways to use it. And I like Sand Viper is also very strong. I see this a lot. You see it, on the ground to protect, and it makes deadly makes people stupid. I don't have a better word for it. I've had good luck with Hooru and Draft, MDCT. Like, I feel good about it. Like, it's honestly, it's my go-to right behind Elysian. So, like, you have a little less removal than I'd like, at times, but you have so many evasive creatures that you have the long... Yeah, Deadly turns everyone into cowards, yeah. You know what? If our deck is just a bunch of flying units, that's a good place to be. Yeah, by far. Stormcrasher easily is the pick here. Noble Firemane's strong. Like, I haven't played with it, but I trust in it. Jotun Cyclops is known good enough card. Like, giving the back alley bouncer a couple lines of text makes it pretty real. Okay, Clan Hero. I think we might actually care about this Hooru Stranger. The trick with the Hooru Stranger in this deck is that Champion of Order is really going to want us to have influence. Heavy amounts of influence. A really heavy amount of influence. And so if we can have a couple Hooru Strangers, even if we don't need the fixing, we're 2-color. Champion, by the way, I've talked about my enjoyment of 3-color in Limited, and you're going to see in this one that that it's very likely I'm going to be sticking 2-color in this deck because I have strong reasons to stick in 2. Like, Champion of Order is a strong enough reason for me to easily stay in the two faction pair, the faction pair I'm in, and Shelterwing Rider has some pretty heavy influence requirements. This means that it's a lot harder for me to want to go in on a 3rd color unless there's some really, really powerful, like something that comes up that is incredibly powerful and probably single influence. We'll go with the Stranger. Hardy Stranger is not really what we care about. Aerialist Kopesh is a little expensive. Roosting Owl is also a little expensive, but could be just fine. Top unit of your deck. So War Cries for X, where X is like the, power toughness of whatever you roost, which is okay. I don't see a lot in here that I'm really happy with. Hardy Stranger could be okay, but I don't think that it's valuable as a 1-drop. It's more valuable if we have a pile of Strangers to go with it. But a 1/2 itself isn't going to be... A 1/2 on its own is not a playable card. A 1/2 with a number of other Strangers. If we had... it would be more interesting pick if we had if this were like pack 3 and we already had like a Strangers Have Flying pick, you know? If we had some reason to pick up the Hardy Stranger. I think with that said, I'm going to pick up the Roosting Owl. It's a little expensive, but it does strong work. As long as the game is in any sort of, like, stable state, it does its job. I don't know, I'm not the hugest fan of the cost on this, but the effect can do a lot of good. Shield Bash, Crafty Yeti, Cabal Rogue, Belching Behemoth. I don't really care about these. Shield Bash is expensive for what it does. The more I've played with it, the more I wish, why are we shield bashing like this? Like, is that a transformer? Anyway, the more I've played with this card, the more I really wish that this card was a fast spell. It would make it a lot more of a realistic inclusion in decks. As is, like, both on my side and the opposing side of the board, it feels weak for cost. Crafty Yeti could give us another on-curve play. The spark on it is, unnecessary to want to play the card. I'd be fine playing it on 3, though I would really want to have something better, especially in, since I do have, things like Stormcrasher. I think that's what I'm going to end up picking here. I don't know if I don't think I trust in Shield Bash as much as I used to. Another Hooru Stranger, that's good. These Strangers do really good work to making Champion of Order function. Tinker and Trailblaze. Reforge is fine, but not for us. Having a Trailblaze would not be bad. Tinker is an interesting card, as it has not only no effect on the board state, but is negative card advantage. You're basically paying for the future here with a little bit of selection. Which, the selection's good, I just am not convinced that you need to be in a stable board state to be able to cast this card. And being in a stable board state isn't a guarantee. So we do have, good units for it to go on if we gave it to Stormcrasher, we gave it to Shelterwing, we gave it to Champion of Order or Roosting Owl. But I feel like we'd be better served by Trailblaze, which gives up the +2/+2 for being a fast spell and drawing a card. And that's a card I'm happy to include. Strength of Many, this could work. We might need a trick to be able to function, and that is a trick. Oh, we got our shotgun here. If we need a trick, this is a trick. There are much better ones, though. But this can be, I would rather have a Finest Hour over this card, but I would accept this if this had to be our trick. I'll take Cripple, and Dustblind. Oh, that is a rare and a half to open for us. Oh, Nelly. Talk about being in a good combination and rolling this is what I'm talking about when I said rolling the dice right, you know? A thing completely outside of our control, and we open up a Channel of the Tempest, which is a finisher that works well. Counting Kittens, have you looked in the new L5R game yet? Yeah, I've been kind of following the previews, and also the original game is one I'm tangentially familiar with. I'm assuming that it's going to have a release with Gen Con ramping up. Anyway, I'm intrigued by it. I don't know if I'll jump into it because I have problems with LCGs as a concept, and that they're not very long lasting. But yeah, initial release at Gen Con, yeah, that's what I assumed, because that matches with basically every other big release that FFG's done. I also really want that Crown Watch Paladin, but I'm not picking it. Anyway, let's pick channel. Oh, hold on. So I saw Copper Hall Elite, and I thought, oh, that's a card that, could maybe be splashable worth, but I'd like you to move your eyes slightly to the right to Wind Shaper. This card doesn't, lose games at all. Wind Shaper is a ridiculously powerful bomb being a body that's big enough to participate in combat. A 2/4 is no slouch. That means that like things like a 3/2 cannot attack without some sort of backup. But like the Wind Shaper is I cannot stress how powerful this card is. The Wind Shaper, yeah. And like you'd think, because the trick is that flying is already one of the most powerful mechanics you can have in the draft, and we already have, I'd say 3.5. Like, Roosting Owl's a fringe, but it could be fine to play. But, like, we already have some hefty flyers that benefit from it, Storm Chaser. And this is pick 2, so we will be seeing more. Sonic Savant, more playable than in usual. So, I have a lot of problems with Psionic Savant. Psionic Savant is very easy to answer, is very fragile initially, and is very slow to ramp. So in a deck that doesn't have a hefty amount of, like, look to its right, you see that Devour, things like that, it's this fragile threat that takes a long amount of time to get going, meaning that you have to be in a position of relative safety in order to deploy the threat, especially with it being a 5-cost card. Like, so you have to be in a relatively safe position and to be able to devote most of your turn, if not all, to this 1/1 threat that can effectively, like, will die to any removal and won't actually command the skies. It costs 2 less, it would be huge. I think that's too much. That's too good. To be fair, what else is there in this pack? There's District Infantry, which would give us an aggressive 1-drop. I don't know if that's something we want or need, but it is a choice. The other cards in this pack are pretty... There's the most powerful card in the abstract in the pack is the Execute. But I do not believe that our deck is in need of being 3 faction. As I said, we really want to make Champion of Order function, and we have some hefty... Channel the Tempest is quad primal. Quad. So adding a 3rd faction is going to be very harmful to our ability to cast spells. I'm the advocate of 3-color in draft. I'm a pretty heavy advocate of 3-color in draft, actually. But that does come with some caveats. I am like, when you're attempting it, you really want to go with these single influence cards that are powerful. Execute being a very good example of it. Stormcrasher being a very good example of that sort of thing. But our deck is not made up of those. So, anyway, this is all a very roundabout way of me not wanting to make a choice because I don't like either of these cards. And I'm going to go with the District Infantry because I don't trust in Psionic Savant. Probably won't trust in this either, but I think we'll have a better chance of it functioning. Unstable Form, Backlash, Inspire? I could play Inspire. I would not feel bad playing an Inspire. Yeah, quad, but also 8 cost, and we see heavy primal. The problem, like, even at, like, 8 cost, quad is hefty. Quad is incredibly hefty. And it remains to be seen how heavily we are in primal. At this point, yes, we definitely have primal as our main color. I think Inspire is the card I'm going to pick here. Backlash is a card I've felt a little better with the more I've played, but I like having a little bit of filter at the beginning and a little bit more... This is a helpful card to have. This is grease that keeps your deck running, you know? Unstable Form is too unstable for me to want to play it, so... Ceremonial Mask, that's a card I could get behind. Yeah, that's an expensive relic weapon, but it's a strong one. +4/+4 on a unit means that we can use it to push through for an attack. That feels like a better sort of Roosting Owl effect, actually, at the cost. Yeah, I like that, especially compared to the other cards in here. Aerial Ace is underpowered. Emerald Acolyte is also very underpowered. These are both a little overcosted for effect. Second Sight needs a little bit more echo for me to want to include. And Rakudon is replaceable. False Prince. Crown Watch, Cavalry, Levitate, Inspire. Ooh, I like these all. I'm not picking the false prince. That's double time. If we were in time, that would be a reason to splash Primal. But in Primal, it is not a reason to splash time. It doesn't go in reverse. I think Crown Watch Cavalry is the card I like. That's a really good way to, like, if I curve Crasher into Cavalry, I feel really strong. Levitate's also a good card just in the abstract. Again, it's sort of, like Inspire, it is grease that keeps your deck functioning and running smoothly. Letting you play a little lower on power if you'd like, but also allowing you a little bit more flexibility. Another Ceremonial Mask. Now, is that stronger than picking up just a Mithril Mace? So we're paying one more power on the mask, and we're getting one more attack out of it, and the +4/+4. I think that's worth the one power on it for the +1/+0 and the +4/+4 boost. Yeah, like, that's... Yeah, Levitate would also function as a combat trick with Windshaper as a +1/+1. You are correct. I still think the Crown Watch Cavalry is the more powerful card. I believe in this card a lot. I'm gonna go with the Ceremonial Mask. It's a little bit more expensive, which means we can't use it as reliably as the mace, but it's more powerful. Oh wow, that is nice. That is a good good pickup at this time. So we can add in this killer. So this is a little bit expensive. Like, this is a little bit. What am I looking at? A 3/3 isn't going to be able to kill a ton of things, but it is going to be able to have an immediate impact on the board. If my opponent plays a Serpent Trainer, I can respond to the Serpent Trainer by just Skycrag Wyvark and just taking it out. If my opponent has just any sort of small things that I can... This is strong, and can be stronger with the Windshaper. Or, even like the Ceremonial Mask into it if I need to kill something huger. So... Explorer Emeritus is alright. Not for us, obviously. I am worried about my early curve. We only have a couple 2-drops, and I don't like them. I don't want to rely on them. So, yeah, Wyvark is very strong. As far as, like, removal and a flying threat is effectively what it is. It kills a 2/2 and then is a 3/3 flyer. I'm gonna pick up a Violent Gust. I'm always a fan of this card in my deck. Guess I'm gonna pick up a Psionic Savant and not feel too compelled to play it. Violent Gust is one of my favorite removal spells. It's been replaced by Bring Down from the new set as far as this color combination, but it's still strong for controlling the airways. Alright, Shatterglass Mage, not for us. Wow, this entire pack is not for us now that I look at it. Strength of Many and Cerso's Meddling are not cards I really want to include multiple copies of in my deck. I could just pick up the Shatterglass Mage for Dust at this point, because I do not feel like any of the other cards in here I would include in my deck. Cerso's Meddling is the only one I would even consider running, and even that is very, very expensive for what it does. That card should not cost 6. I realize that the card is fast. I do not think it is worth it for being a fast spell. You are paying +3 on Polymorph to make it a fast spell. Like, it's very poor. It is not a card I wish to include in my deck in any way. Like, on 6, I would much rather be casting Ceremonial Mask as removal, you know? We have that. Yeah, it's even... Yeah, it's... Anyway, I am going to flat ignore it. I'm just going to go ahead and pick up something for Dust. That is a blank pack, and it feels bad. Now, here is a much less blank pack, and it feels extremely good. Lifesteal, give the student Lifesteal. This is one of this is a card I was kind of hoping to see when we picked up the Ceremonial Masks, as our deck as of the moment is really good at controlling the air, but not very good at controlling the ground. We don't have a lot of hefty things on the ground in order to be able to, like, take, you know, to deal with our opponent having big units on the ground. But if we just have Lifesteal and the ability to attack for, like, 7 in the air off of this, or 4, 6 in the air off of this combo, something like that. Even if, 2/2 in the air, 4/4 in the air, this means that we can just race the ground. Anyway, also, even if we don't even if we don't mentor, the card's good enough. And that's the real trick behind mentor. Is that if the card isn't mentoring and it's still good enough, that means it's a good card. Good to have. Boltcrafter Shaman is not for us. Ooh. Spell Shield Architect could be for us. That would let us reset our Shelterwing Rider. That would let us protect some of our more vulnerable cards. We don't really care too much about Skywalk Instructor, as there's very little to instruct. Our deck is effectively tribal flying, not flying here, but flying. Like, it's very unnecessary to have this. High Branch Sentry would be better if we had a little more things like the Spirit Guide. But Spell Shield Architect is the easy pick for me. Very hard to deal with, and hands-off, very hard to deal with. So, especially in this pack, where it's, like, the other cards in here are like, we have some good stuff in here. Purify is, I think, this is one of my favorite cards in the set. It's a little expensive, I feel, having played it a lot, but it's very good. Press Gang Watch. Oh, okay, this is the draw a one-coster. Where a unit is stunned. Enemy is stunned. Play 3/3. How much do we have any stun? This is the combination that would best take use of that, but we do not have any way of stunning an opponent's unit. We don't have Ice Sprite or even like a Jotun kin. Serpent Mount could be a little better in here because of the power of Windshaper, would let it double up. Like, say we control a Stormcrasher and we play Windshaper, it's a 3/3. We play a Serpent Mount, it'll eat the... Yeah, we passed the Shield Bash, and that's the only card that would be functional with it. Purifies roughly on cost as a pair of 1-mana spells at instant speed, but it's not, though. If it could go face, it would be a pair of 1-mana spells. The fact that it can't means that it's a little overcost. Press Gang Watch, we only have one 1-drop. That's really expensive, and we don't have anything really strong to pick up on. I could pick up High Branch Sentry, because we have a couple, like, spell sheet, like, studenting things that could work with, but they're on the wrong curve, you know? Fencing Master betting on future picks? We're a little late to be betting on future picks, I feel. Like, how much stun would I need to include in my deck to play Fencing Master is the question I need to ask, right? So, like, the thing with Fencing Master, I would need to include a pretty hefty amount of stuns just to want to play it. Honestly, I want to say it's like 4 or 5 for me to want to. Yeah, I realize that, Ty. I realize fully that I am blowing smoke about a card I love, probably because I love it and want it to be better, you know? That's probably it. The card is extremely good, so... Anyway, I think I'm gonna pick the Serpent Mount. I'm not certain if I'd play it. Yeah. Piercing Grief. Oh, this is not too much for us. Probably the Cloud Snake. Yeah, probably the Cloud Snake, which could be includable at this point. Not great, but includable. Like, because we have Windshaper, it's not like a null. We don't have a ton of Spark, which is what you would want the card for. Yeah, it's better than everything else for us in that pack. Another Roosting Owl, Lumbering Gruen, non-fixing. I kind of wanted another banner. That is not the stun we want, Counting Kittens. That is maybe the worst stun card that isn't Daze because of the timing on it. Spark on a stun trigger means that you have to do it post-combat 99% of the time. and stunning post-combat is the actual worst time to stun. So... do I actually care about Lumbering Gruen? Is that better than just another owl? Lumbering Gruen is the worst stun. This is truly the worst stun. Oh. I did not. That is on me. Yeah, this is a 6/7 that can't block. It's big. It just can't block. Is that... do I want another aggressive thing at 6? Do I want another roosting? I'm gonna pick another roosting owl. Screw Lumbering Gruen. I don't like the card. Hooru Banner versus a good 2. Yeti Snow Trucker is a real 2. You kind of want a few more tricks to be able to make the card function. Like, it's going to run in there and die after a couple turns, but it's going to get in damage, and I don't know if the banner is what we want. Like, we do have the Champion of Order, so banner is definitely something we need, but, like, how many 2s do we need? How many 2s do we have? Hooru Stranger's our only 2 creature. Yuck. Yuck. That's not great. That's really not a great place to be. Hooru Banner would be really nice, too. Just as a fixing thing. Like, can we afford to be this slow? I don't know if we can. If I had a way to give it flying, I'd feel a little better. There's also the Extract, the strongest card in this pack, by the way. Just wanted to point that out. This card is extremely good. I play in a lot of constructed decks, to be honest. Like, I would probably play it without the Scry, but it has the Scry. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'd play it without the Scry. I would consider it without the Scry. Anyway, this is all about a lot of hemming and hawing over nothing, isn't it? Do I have any way of making that better, Crown Watch? I can, like, use it as a... I'm gonna go with the 2. Because I want Curve. Talon Dive. We could use Talon Dive. Talon Dive is a trick that we could functionally use. Yeah, Lightning Helix is a fast spell, so that's the whole point of a Lightning Helix. And, okay, do we want... is a Talon Dive better than a Trailblaze? It's a really, like... this is a really niche trick, but it's a strong trick. Might be better than the Strength of the Many in the deck. Yeah, let's put it in. This is a deck where it could function. I'll take that. Another Snow Trucker. Okay, I should have picked the banner then. Ah, well. No worries. Get rid of the Shroud and get rid of the Blood Call. Our final pack. A Shogun's Scepter we're not picking. Loyal Watchwing, Wisdom of the Elders. Loyal Watchwing's a little small for what it does. Wisdom of the Elders gives me a little bit more resilience in a late game. And that wouldn't be bad. We're also a pretty hefty, like... like, we're much more primal. We did end up in that direction, much more primal than we did any other direction, so we could afford it. It's probably fine. I like Loyal Watchwing enough, but, like, that body's so small. It's one of the, like, it's a, like, this gets stuffed too easily, is the problem. Any flyer, even a literal Cloud Snake hatchling stuffs it, and I don't like that. Rest of the challenge, Lightning Storm. Ooh, talk about a heck of a card for us. One of the problems I see with this deck is its inability to hold the early game. We have some pretty poor, like aggressive 2s that don't fit with us, and strangers that we're really just playing for our friend here. But Lightning Storm changes that. Also, Auric Sentry would be very strong as well if the Lightning Storm wasn't here. And if that wasn't here, Eastwind Herald would be fine. Same with Minotaur Grunt. This is a good pack for us. Yeah, I trust in Lightning Storm to do enough work. Even if it's just like we attack with Yeti Snow Trucker, they block, and then we storm away like 2 things. Spire Chaplain, Static Bolt 1. This has got to be Spire Chaplain, right? This is a pretty good way to keep the power flowing, which our deck needs. We have a lot of hefty stuff up top, but also keep the power flowing for Champion of Order, because the doubler is like a extremely important mechanic on it. So yeah, that's pretty good. We have a stun source, but it's really expensive. Argent Port Sorter. Argent Port Soldier. Static Bolt is like removal. So Spire Chaplain's good to include. Polymorph. This is the much better version of Circe's Meddling. This is it. This is what we want. 100%. That's easy. Violent Gust 3, Ceremonial Masks 3, District Infantry. I don't really care about any of these cards. Yeah. I don't care about any of these. Maybe I'm going to pick the District Infantry because that's the one that's most likely for me to want a little more of. Like, because I already have 2 Violent Gusts and I'm not sure if I'm playing both, and I already have 2 Ceremonial Masks and I'm not sure if I'm playing both, so we'll pick the card that I'm... Oh, hey! Now, Levitate's very good. That gives me a little bit more reason to keep Violent Gusts in the deck. And we do have a couple things that I'd be fine levitating. Not a ton, but a few. And also, it's not competing with much. Mithril Mace is something we already sort of have that effect in Ceremonial Mask, so... Well, I guess I get to pick a Mithril Mace here. That's fine by me. Hooru Envoy. Whenever a spell's played directly onto it, you draw a card. So, like, I draw 2 if I levitate it. That's about it. That's about all I'm seeing, is I draw 2 if I levitate it. Talon Dive can't touch it unless it's already flying. And, like, I guess I could polymorph it to cycle my polymorph, but what the hell am I doing there? That doesn't make any sense. So that's not for us. We don't have enough spells to target that with. I guess Strength of the Many. Herald Song? Herald Song's not great. Neither of those are good. I'm not playing either. Sure, Rakadon has a possibility, and there's their Herald Song anyway. Okay, so let's do some deck building. First things first, we need to cut out some of the last cards that we put in. The Hooru Envoy, the... Anything on the edge here? A Rakadon, yep. I don't want the Rakadon in the deck. And... I'm going to take out the Herald Song. Okay, so now everything's on one page. We need to make about 10 cuts here for me to be happy with this. Let's start things off with Sonic Savant, Mithril Mace, because we have 2 Ceremonial Masks. One of the Roosting Owls gets to go immediately. Anything that's below the curve... Strength of the Many probably isn't going to be impressive. I'm fine cutting that out. Oh, hold on. How do you stick in there? Get out of here. Crafty Yeti is below the curve, and we have a lot better 3s here. Spell Shield, Architect, Spire Chaplain, Storm Chaser. I'm fine cutting out the Yeti. The Snow Truckers probably aren't necessary. Scar, Wyvark. 4 cuts? 4 cuts, and I'll be happy with this. I'm okay with 17 power in here, specifically because the deck is playing Inspire, Levitate, and Trailblaze. That combination, and we also do have a Spire Chaplain as well to keep things rolling. We're a bit heavier, so like if I could get it to 18, I'm gonna cut another Roosting Owl. If we could get it to 18, I'd feel a little better on that, but I don't feel like with the quality we could cut things out here. And Wisdom, we have enough like draw to keep things rolling to get to the later game, and I'm okay with that. Is Serpent Mount something that needs to be in the deck? Are Double Violent Gust things that need to be in the deck? Is Talon Dive a thing that needs to be in the deck? Are District Infantries what I am doing? Is that me? Do I actually care about District Infantry to hit my opponent for about 6 damage before they get stuffed? Does that matter? Will I want to draw them late game? Absolutely not. So the only time I want the card is early game. Is that good enough to include the card in the deck? Cloud Snake Hatchling, I'm fine keeping in. Yeah. Cloud Snake Hatchling, I'm okay still keeping in the deck. That's harsh to say, but, like, I don't feel the worst about it. Maybe I do. Maybe I do want Cloud Snake out of here, because Cloud Snake's only good with Wind Shaper. It's the only way it's any good. Anything else with it, it's just poor. It's just a 1/2 flyer, which, like, is a slow clock. I think the cards I want to cut are, like, looking at my 1-drops, and also, like, maybe Violent Gust. I have so many owls that Talon Dive feels like it has something to boost. Like, so let's take a look at that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We actually don't have as many flyers as I would expect by it. Like, we only have 7 flyers in the deck for Talon Dive. That doesn't mean that the Talon Dive isn't good enough, but it is lower than you would think with what the deck actually ended up being. Oh, Cloud Snake too. I guess 8, and, like, Levitate's 8.5. So that's doable. That's usable. Basically, the question is, like, so if I'm cutting the district infantries, what goes with it? And if I'm not cutting the district infantries, what goes instead of that? Is that, like, where I cut out the Cloud Snake Hatchlings and, like, or Cloud Snake Hatchling and, like, maybe one of the Violent Gusts? Yeti Snow Trucker also doesn't feel our speed if I'm not playing district infantry. Like, maybe that's where I cut out, because I don't think that Yeti Snow Trucker is going to do too much for us. Late game, it's going to run in there and die. Early game, it's going to run in there, get 6 points in, and die. Dies to my Lightning Storm. Maybe that's where I want to cut. District Infantry, yeah. How would I control the early game, then? Am I relying a lot more on the... I don't like fading on my first couple turns. I don't like fading at all in my first couple turns, so let's at least plan this out. So let's assume we're cutting district infantries in the Yeti Snow Trucker, or 2 maybe. How am I living through turns 1 through 3? I basically need Hooru Stranger. I'm using Inspire, Levitate, and, like, Trailblaze in order to kind of keep things flowing up to that point. Not a huge fan of that. That could be a lot better. But I also don't think they do a lot to forward our actual plan. I feel like we're missing some defensive options early, and that's the big missing piece from this deck. Alright, let me... What do I have cut? Is there anything in here that would be helpful that I'm not playing? Not especially. I'm playing everything I'd want. Okay, so let's go ahead and... I'm going to trust in that the Yeti Snow Truckers are not what I want in the deck. I feel like they're going to die too easily. Do I want 18 power? Is that too high? I could do 18 power with Channel the Tempest. That wouldn't be the worst. So I don't really like the Serpent mount, but I'm okay playing it. Talon Dive's iffy. Mithril Mace and Roosting Owl could go in. I don't like Hooru Envoy. That's not a card that we could play. Strength of the Many is maybe a card we could play. That wouldn't be too bad. As a trick. I'm going to try this, though. I think with the base we have, we're probably 10-8. Yeah, 10-8. Okay. Let's go with this. So, if I were to... Well, to quickly evaluate the deck that we have a very hefty amount of evasion, an okay amount of removal. I feel decent having the Polymorphs and the Ceremonial Masks, along with the Lightning Storm and Violent Gust plus Levitate combo, which that feels like an okay amount of removal to go with this. However, I feel like our early game is going to suffer a lot if our opponent is an Onironi. starting with that, we're going to be in a very bad way. We don't have good options other than Lightning Storm to stuff a start like that. So we need... But I think the mid-game and actually the late is where we excel. If we can keep a game going, we should be able to take it just with the quality of flying creatures we have. So... let's see how this goes. I feel alright about it. Kind of like this. Bit of a curve, and we have the ability to cast Shelterwing Rider. I'm not sure it's, like, not quite, like... Personally, it's not quite feeling this. It's just admitting the weaknesses of what we have together. I'm okay with this. Like, a Mulligan's not going to get us better early game, and the Chaplain there is going to do good work, along with Shelterwing Rider being here. So... okay. Alright. Channel of Freaking Tempests. Okay. Ooh, 4. Okay, so I can rebuy my Aegis. That's nice. You're only single, so we'll do this. Spire Chaplain, get in there. So we can rebuy the Aegis if that falls off, which is good. You actually are 3. You control 3 different sigils and just... oh, wow! No, you're 4. You're flat 4. Okay. Heck. That's... okay. They're 4 faction and they're on. That's scary. I want the trade here. Would very much enjoy the trade. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the rider going. Oh, that was foolish. If I lose this game by 1 point, call me out on it. Alright? Call me out on that one. That was a misstep and a half. Ugh. Is that worthy of my polymorph? I feel like that's a target worthy enough of my polymorph. Wow, double shadow too. My 4 faction deck playing a double yeah, no, they're 5 factions. They're playing a Xenon banner. No, my 5 faction deck playing a double shadow card. That is greed. They can't get anything back right away. Do I want to play out the champion, like, nude? I'm gonna play out a 5-mana 2/2, no text. That'll lightning rod removal so easily. Okay, so you're actually heavy shadow. Okay, so that makes sense. You're hefty shadow. No blocks, that's fine. I assume you're gonna play another flyer of worth to make sure that I cannot go. Oh, smokes. Oh, this would be excellent. I think that means I'm gonna polymorph one of these though. Let's get rolling on in. This is good. I would love to get this rolling next turn. So they could get Frog back with it if I killed Frog. We're going to take the 2 still from that. 13. The mask is huge. The mask is very big. If I can get the mask on next turn, that'll be... I'm going to... I'll go into frog combat. That's okay. You get the frog back. Free frog. But I'm not going to let you have the free damage. That's not worth it.
No problem at all.
Sure, and sure. Come on. Ooh. Let's make a lethal threat then. One card left in hand. Wirklich. There's no way you win if you do that, bud. I will kill you. Yeah, no blocks. I'll take 6. I'm willing to throw this away, by the way, next turn, if need be. Play your final card, please. No! We're gonna armor up. Trailblaze. Sorcery speed, the Trailblaze. That can go bottom, please. Perfect.
Stillness can be strength.
Okay. I'm willing to make some trades on this turn, if they come in. And I'm willing to chump block the 3/4 if it flies in. However, next turn we have the power of the Ceremonial Mask, which is going to give us armor, removal, and power. Well, I think we win the game with that play. Doubly so if our opponent does do some sort of committing to the board that doesn't change the outcome. That would be the most useful in my mind. I'm willing to throw away a couple units to trade with my opponent's units in order to simplify things, but not too much. I'm also willing to not keep this around. Champion of Order is not our win condition. This is a 2/2 with no text. Strangers of +2/+2. Okay. Well played. The problem is you're at 4, and I have flying lethal threats. Yeah. Okay. Well, that went well. That went very well, in fact. Our opponent did have some very powerful cards, and it's not obvious, like the stranger play there makes a lot of sense, seeing as if you're in 4 or 5 factions, that's probably one of the best reasons. Or easiest reasons. Maybe not best reasons. The best reason would be I have this incredible amount of powerful cards across 5 factions, and incredible removal to go with it. The Immortal Frog. Nothing can beat an Immortal Frog. We couldn't kill it. Having 2 Memory Dredgers is scary, by the way. Memory Dredger, I don't know if you've not had the chance to play against it, it's very strong. The biggest thing about Memory Dredger, which I got to show off in that game, is that it lets you recur units that died in the combat it dealt damage in. That is to say, like, if you attack with Memory Dredger in a 2/2, a 2-mana 2/2, the 2/2 dies or trades, even better, you can buy it back immediately. This is an automatic mulligan. There's only 1 power in my hand, and I'm unable to keep it, sadly, as it is a decent hand. But here's the trick to a hand like this, and I say, oh, this is such a good hand with only 1 power. Well, you know, a 6-card hand is going to look good by, like, just normally. That's just how it is. So do not be fooled by how good the 6-card hand will look. Okay, this is good stuff. Lightning Storm lets me forgives any sins I might have if my opponent plays something early here. I would love it if my opponent played another thing that died to Lightning Storm. That would be the world's perfect outcome to this turn. I need my opponent to play a offensive thing that... Is that worth it? I think that's worth it to cut off my opponent's early game. I could wait a little longer I could wait a little longer on this, but I kind of don't see myself playing... Oh, wow. Because I think I see myself playing Spellshield Architect next turn, followed by Serpent Mount on Spellshield Architect to make a 5 power. So this is the only turn I'm going to be able to play this until turn 5, or 4 if I give up the Spellshield. Yeah, turn 3 Sandstorm and Limited. Yeah. Talk about terrifying. Uh,
Stillness.
so we're playing the Architect without the Mentor because I want to Serpent Mount on it. That's pretty good. Well played. Your heavy ramp. Incredibly heavy ramp and fixing. That scares me on the quality of your cards, then. Let's go ahead and... Here's a 5-power flyer. Please stop it. So the cool thing is that Hooru Stranger gives us our double justice for these cards, which is necessary. We're going to need to draw the power for them, which we should be able to buy time for just by holding the ground and being offensive here with our 5-1. I'm worried about our opponent making some sort of power play, like... Oh, damn! Well... You know, I've talked about how 1 toughness things die to anything. Did you know 1 toughness, minions, they die to literally everything. Oh, dear. Wisdom of the Elders. I have to pass on that. I need power. I need it now. So, yeah, dies to everything. No blocks, I'll take 3. They're not willing to trade this on a double block. Interesting. Nice. Let's do this. +4/+4 our next unit. This is not quite Warcry, but it's close. Like it's like, you know, it gives +4/+3. The big thing is it doesn't give it to weapons. So it's the next unit. However, our next couple turns get to be like Ceremonial Mask, crunch, kill this. Ceremonial Mask, crunch. Like, we get to play Ceremonial Masks pretty heavily and aggressively, which is good. Or maybe we'll draw a unit. I'll take the 5 here, by the way. My life total is pretty hefty. I can take this hit. I can afford the hit pretty easily. No worries. Scary my opponent passed last turn without doing anything. No instance. That's good. Do you have anything real for me? Sauropod Wrangler. Hip shot. Okay, that doesn't scare me that much. Violent Gust. Alright. So let's... We will... cut you off. Uncertain how wise allowing the double trade here is. I'm kind of banking on drawing this unit in the next couple turns here, aren't I? That might not be too wise. Envelop. Oh, wow. That's backbreaking. I need to draw the unit off of this almost now in order to not die on this. Oh, never mind! I'm dying on the spot, everybody. Good night. All right. That's a strong play. Yeah, you know, that's fine. See, the die show, you know, we lost to the die show. We lost because the die show came down. But the actual loss in that game was the turn where our 5-1 died to a 5-6. That turned the game from us having the aggressive ability to pressure our opponent into a game where we had no ability to pressure our opponent, and our opponent knew that. You wish it were Sandstorm Titan. Yeah. Anyway, let's move along. Bands with Legends. I think I've played against Bands with Legends before. Strong hand, missing power. Got a mulligan. Can't keep it. I'm even going first, so this isn't keepable. So, yeah, sad, because I like this setup here, but, like, especially the Shelterwing Rider, giving this lifelink would be, like, really strong, but nothing, we cannot keep that. Okay, that's fine. Maybe we'll get to snipe something with Violent Gust. It is possible I get to snipe something with Violent Gust. We'll play Stormcrasher and then Aegis it. Okay, Argonport Stranger. That's fine. Oh, cool. I'll even get to Inspire on the next turn. I would like this thing to have Aegis. I'm willing to give up a little bit of time. Yeah, no blocks, bud. Not happening. Ooh! Scary. Let's go ahead and Inspire first. Nice!
Stillness can be strength.
So, I'm willing to hand off Aegis here a little more because this Cloud Snake Harrier is sort of in the way. Alright, so we're taking 5. I could trade off on this ground unit. No, no need. We have a 3/3 that'll block it next turn. No need to be aggressive with the trade there. Oh, well, looks like I don't have Aegis anymore. Well played.
Hear the heart beat.
I'm going to take that down before they have the ability to play spells with it. So our lifelink is going to be... Give a unit flying. Is that going to... Oh, okay. Nice. Okay, remove my Aegis. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and play out my Ceremonial Mask. Choose a unit. Yes, bands with legend. Yeah, this owl has. Look, this owl has a PhD at this point. I'm pretty sure. So we can easily trade off our 3/2 with this 4/3. Our opponent's might actually have to evolve this. Alternatively, they could evolve my owl. Oh, that sucks. I'm willing to block both here, because I don't want to lose my weapon. Revenge, that's fine.
Stillness
Okay.
can be strength.
Nice. So let's ability here. And we are going to break our weapon on this because there's no reason to hold it, as we would lose our weapon anyway. Channel the Tempest is going to be great. That's a draw 3 with some damage attached. If this dies, that would be not great, but stunned, not so bad. We have a pretty large life cushion to work with. I'll pass. Holding this card in hand makes our channel a little better, and like this might be able to hold out a little longer. We've got time. Okay. Ooh. I'm fine taking out your flyer. I could have, like, waited on that to be, like, a lethal shot at my opponent's face, but I don't believe that that is the path to victory. I believe that controlling the board is the better path to victory here. Let's Trailblaze. Kind of want to see a better card right now. I can go bottom. It's not a better card. Alright, this owl now has their masters in everything. In owldom. It's a strong owl. We'll block here. That's fine. We have lethal here, so. Ooh. Well played.
You don't want to make my allies your enemies.
Alright, well, we gotta be aggressive here. They might be able to pull this one out if we don't draw actually useful cards here. That's quite scary, in fact. Okay, well, found a card that can eat that polymorph. Oh, Scary cards, you say? That's what I'm asking for? Okay. I found one. So this doesn't have the Justice on, but it does have the copy. So, are you actually holding a harsh rule? Whoa! I wasn't expecting that big of a blowout there. +5/+5. I can kill you back, though. That's incredible, though, for you to have the trick that makes that make sense. Let's end this one, though. Very well played by our opponent. They did everything they could to come back into that game. Like, I guess I was a little complacent in my plays, which allowed them a lot of entry points. Basically, I had thought I had sort of written the game off as completed once we had cast Channel the Storm, but that was not necessarily the case. Also, we had the Ultimate Owl. You know what? Good on you, Owl. I'm glad that you completed all of your studies, well. What a good owl. Yeah, that was very well played. Like, they had exactly the like, right tricks they needed in order to stay alive. Huzzah, if they had that, the Overwhelm from our Talon Dive would have killed them. With only one power up, they did not have an out to the +4/+4 on it. Your Hooru Draft has already gone better than all of mine. I want to say my general Hooru Draft or Hooru Legion, like that 3-color, goes about 4. Hello! Usually, I want to say 4 wins is 3 to 4 wins is my average Hooru Draft. Like 4, I'd say. Epic Bandit. This is not great. No, not great at all. I don't like how few cards we have going on. I don't like how... Yeah, you've been... MDCT, have you been cursed by an owl? Do you hear hooting in the middle of the night? Do you... I'm gonna redraw this, because I don't like only having this action. It's a fine curve, but it's not enough action for me to... This is really expensive. Ooh. We could be paying for that choice. Okay. Violent Gusts could be doing well against this color combo, though. Okay, Stranger v Stranger fight. That's fine. Okay. This is good. We kind of need to draw power to make things work, but the problem is we need to draw some cards in the middle of it, too. Oh. Owlectomies. Be wary of owlectomies. I'm gonna pass. I think I have more value to get out of that than... Okay, well... We need to be aggressive. An opponent on 2 power is somebody that you can easily take a hefty advantage of, and we need to take hefty advantage of. I'm willing to burn my levitate combo to kill this in order to just draw a card. Because I want to be able to curve in the ceremonial mask on the next turn. If I can play the ceremonial mask, even if they get the 3rd power, I don't think it will matter if we can play that. Again, I missed the point on the... Oh, what am I doing? I do this all the damn time with this stupid cloud snake. Stop it. Get out of the way. Okay. Stop it! Jens! The cloud snake can attack. It isn't cursed to not attack. You know how Vampire Interloper can't block? Cloud Snake can't attack. That's just how it is. That's fine. You know what? If I'm just gonna if that's where I am, if the curse this hand freaking rules. Holy smokes, this is good. Sure, that's okay. This is extremely good. The only thing I want is a second Justice for this, but damn, like, this curve is really strong. Did you play a curse that says can't attack on it? There's worlds where I'd do that. Okay, sure. You got Stranger? Temple Scribe. Alright, you got a lot of life force, it seems. Not exactly what I want to see. We do need the Justice. I can get away with it, not on 4, but... Yep, this is definitely a life force deck, if I've ever seen one. Like, holy smokes, this is heavy life force. Yeah, and there it is. Alright, well, let's just fly over. We'll kill our opponent in the air and not care. That scares me. Cabal Slasher. Okay, that whiffs. Want to draw this. Really want to draw... Okay, well, I can get it later. I want to be aggressive, though. Yep. Willing to trade off on that. That's fine. We want the Death Touch off the board. What's your 5? Anything? That's scary. Okay, so I can trade this. I will trade here. That's an easy trade for me. This is scary, though. Yeah, this is an easy... Crap. Crap. One of the best Life Force cards in the set, bar none. That's gonna be hard to beat. Yeah, and you know it, too. Ugh. Where's my out? I don't see one. Like, at this point, with this over here, all they need to do is play power. If I trade, I'm not going to be able to win. I need you to miss life force triggers somehow, but I really doubt that's going to happen. Like, your 2 cards in hand need to be more like Cabal Slashers. Okay. Okay, that's 1 threat off the board. This is the next one that has to go.
Taste life everlasting.
Not enough. Well... Get the hell off the board. Can't afford the attack. I can come back from this. I can come back from this. I believe in my heart that this is a winnable game.
Let your spirit rise.
Irrelevant card. Good. So this trade will happen, hopefully. If they have a way to break this Aegis, I'm basically out of the game. Okay. Doesn't matter. That's good. And now we wait. Oh, God, this is scary as hell. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Stillness can be strength.
So if they go to pump this in any way... Oh, well, I made a heavy mistake, didn't I? Right, that's a thing that can happen in the game of, whoops. Well... That's my ass. We're not out of it.
Keep to the alleys.
Crap, it's unblockable. Yeah, that's what I get. Yeah, my idea was that I wanted to interrupt some sort of play that was a pump ability, but you can't do that in the game of Eternal, so... Whoops. That feels terrible. Because that was a game I had. That was a game we were actually coming back in. F. I always want to find every mistake so that I don't make them in the future, but when it's a mistake that's just something so key to the... This is really good. Yes. A+. But that game's over. That game's ended. We're moving on to this one, where Spire Chaplain makes this hand work. Okay, some echo. Okay. I'm also really happy to have Wind Shaper here. Okay, they're playing slow as well. Ooh, nice. Ceremonial Mask with the Spire Chaplain around seems really good. Oh, 3 colors, slow. I do not want the Justice Sigil, actually. I'd like a little bit more action. We'll be getting Justice Sigils, like... Yeah, we'll be getting Sigils, like, crazy here. So... We're gonna do this. We're gonna play Spire Chaplain. We're gonna... They have Levitate? They have an Echo card, too. I think they have, like, something like a Levitate, though. Yep. It's the only card that makes sense to have in that position, and they want to find a little bit more action. I think I'm willing to levitate my creature in order to attack here. And then I'll be able to play the sigil I get off of this, making it look like I'm playing a, like, bit of a, like, restricted, like I'm making these plays because I have to, rather than because I want to. I will take 3 also. This card is irrelevant. They missed a power drop. That is terrible for them. Oh, I'm sorry, my friend. You're going to have a really bad day here in a moment when you play the other one on that. Yeah, no blocks. I'm willing to trade 100% there. I'm not even going to do anything about that. So let's go ahead and... We're going to play this sigil, play out our Wind Shaper, and go to town, because the trade still happens here. If they'll take it. I'd love the trade here. If not, I'll polymorph it, and we'll have evolution. Our Yeti will evolve even further. Wow, also Spire Chaplain with Channel in hand? Ooh, that's a lot of spice going on there. Yep, they're going... Alright, so the evolution is fully accelerated, and now the Yeti is going to do a wraparound. That's fine. Yeah, we definitely still need a Primal to make it work, but I mean more in the, like, having so many cards in hand. Like, the Channel of the Tempest is going to be, like, Channel for, like, 8. Or 9. Like, if our opponent's even alive at that point in the game. Okay, they hit 4. You know, my favorite part about the frog is the open mouth. Like, it's the happiest frog. Carcogenesis or something like that? Oh, I got bad news for you, my friend. Oh, wow. Yeah, this game is over right now. Sadly, because I'm not going to get to channel the Tempest, my opponent in Limited, for like 20. That would be really fun to be able to channel the Tempest for, I'd play a Sigil, I'd channel for 8? Yeah, just channel for 8. Casually. That'd be really good. Okay, we're making up ground. We've made our 3 packs, which is the payout. So, this is full payout. Like, everything past this is like getting your cash back. Because you turn 500 gold into 2,000 gold. And a foil card, which, foil card's alright, I guess. It's the gold that you get, but the packs are the biggest payout. Every win up to 4 is a very huge win because of how much dust you get for it. Yeah, channel for 8 is very illegal. That's bad. Luckily, the cops can't catch me on my on-scene owl. There's no way that they can stop me. A lot of fun. Glad this draft's been going good. We've had some missteps, a couple that were not on us, and a couple that were. And it's important to, like, reflect on those, you know? It's easy to look back at a game and say, this thing, like I lost because of, my opponent had a stronger position, a better deck, better play. But it's also important to reflect on your own play as well. If you, oh, that's perfect. That is exactly what I wanted here, because I want to be able to attack with the Spire Chaplain in order to get down Shelter Wing quickly. But yeah, it's very important to reflect on your own choices as well, and not just write off everything as the randomness of the game caused the loss. And see if there was, maybe it did, maybe that's true. It's very simple for that to be true, but it's also worth investigating. Let's get in there. Do you have any actual things to stop me? Draft is a very good value, even if you just, like, rare draft it. Do you have a trick? Oh, you're just going to devour and try to get something. That's fine. That's really good. That means I get my sigil regardless, and I get to play out my Shelter Wing Rider.
Let your spirit rise.
This is very, very good, especially with the Serpent Mount to go with it. This way I'll have multiple heavy lethal threats and be able to just push flying. Sure, I can attack into that. I think it is worth playing the Serpent Mount here. And I'm willing to give my opponent 3 life for a sigil. Or 2 life, sorry, not 3 life. If that was 3 life, that would be the worst attack I've ever made. We will have the skies, so that's not a problem. I also get the Roosting Owl next turn. Like, this gets really nasty very quickly. Alright. Let's make 11... It is turn 5, and I have 11 Power of Flyers on the board. This is a very strong position to be in. I'm a little scared of our opponent's hefty hand. They might play an Umbran Thirster and attempt to take the skies back. But the secret is, you can't have the skies. You can't take the skies from me. There's nothing. No way. We're crushing you. Let's keep getting our damage in. We get to put our opponent very low and draw some more cards. If they keep going more Umbran Thirsters, they're gonna get 100% defeated here. Okay, Tower Top Patrol, that's a good one, because that stuffs Serpent Mount very, very much. I want to draw some cards. That means Serpent Mount is just going to be... Oh. Or... I was just going to put Serpent Mount on Roosting Owl duty.
Can you hear the wind blow?
Hold on. What are you at? Let's double check for lethal. See, the trick is that was one short. I figured the morale would be enough, though. 5 and 2. Feeling good. Always feeling good on these. Windshaper's absolutely a ridiculous card. Yeah, well, not quite lethal, but how do you come back from that? Yeah, that's the problem. The Aegis threat, which even would still have power if the Aegis was removed. The Serpent, that's 6 power. Yeah. This one went very well. I'm feeling quite good on this specific draft. At maximum, 2 more games to go. Yeah, draft is a hell of a good payout. Like, incredibly good payout in this game. The fact that you keep all the cards is the biggest thing, obviously, but it allows you to kind of craft the... Like, just... If you literally just went ahead and picked out the cards for... Yeah, or don't play Eternal and just watch others. If you want to do that, go right ahead. I'm sure that I've seen a number of people streaming as of recent that have been excellent streams. Ton Ty's done some excellent ones. I've seen Loon do some quite good ones, things like that. I sadly cannot keep this. This is too heavy, top heavy. Even with the Hooru Stranger here, I do not believe... Oh, man. If this didn't have the channel and it was another sigil, I would consider it. But not with the channel in my opener. Channel in my opener is not where I need this to be. Let's move along. Yeah, it's Roby 7... Roby 77K. Born in the year 1,977,000. Incredible. Okay.
We forge what we need.
That's fine. This thing can attack. Ooh, Echo. What is that? Really want this in play, Spire. Sure.
I bring word.
I'll hold this back here to block. That trade's easy enough. Ooh, Titus and Bartz. That's a good dive. Bartz is really strong. Bartz is the only character I have fully dived. Ooh. See, I'm sitting here thinking that Shelter, that we have a lot of double blue right now. We're actually missing our we're missing a sigil here to be able to perform. I could Storm, but I think the 2-for-1 is worth it if they offer this. I would take the 2-for-1. Oh, why would I... Wait. I'm an idiot. I'd take the 1-for-1 anyway. That's foolish of me, but also... Yeah, why would I'll take the 2-for-1, I say, looking at the 3-power unit on my opponent's side of the board. Let's do this. Ooh, you have a trick. Oh, okay. That works. I need to inspire into the correct source here. Okay. Good weapon. We're both kind of in a rut here. They're missing a power, I'm missing a power. But we're both missing a different power. Okay, that's something. I can work with that. I can work with that hell well. Sure, that's fine. That's better than it being on, like, Skycrag Watcher, so... Yep, keep attacking. That's fine. Talent of Nostrix. Yeah, sure. Oh my goodness. I cannot play cards. I cannot play cards. It is killing me. I cannot play cards. Shock. Yes. I cannot play cards. None of my cards do anything. This is incredibly tragic. Oh my goodness. Send help. Send help. This is comedic. What is even happening? Okay. Okay, I can play cards. Oh goodness. Yeah, this is 2 minute shock. That's Pyroblast. Oh, just, yeah. I guess I underestimated it. Hell. Okay, I can kill this if need be. I can play cards. Okay, trade with the weapon. You get the loot. How many cards are in your yard? 7 plus 1. So this is far and away from going on. Oh, you're discarding something playable. That's... Oh, no, you have me dead. No! Oh, that was maybe the most ludicrous game I've played in a while. I love it. Just, like, just those games, you look at your hand, it's 7 cards, and it's just like, these, I can't play any of these. What, I can't do anything with these. What are these cards? I can't play any of them. They're all fake. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. I love it. That's card games right there for you. Let's open some packs. Ooh, we get our 6th win anyway. Thank you. I'm glad that the game realized that we had been half the win for my own mistake and half the win as the apology. Pumped your flyer, played Lightning Storm, leaving your opponent with nothing, you probably would have won. Like, if I could have done all of those things, yes, it would have been great, but I couldn't. Like, my opponent had both Violent Gust and Bring Down, so flyers were not how I was winning that. Let's open some packs. The defensive +2/+2 was poor choice, though. That play I definitely went wrong. Like, that entire turn was incorrect. I was operating under a false assumption and was summarily punished for it. Anyway, let's crush all these cards. I don't think anything I opened is real. I own all these cards, so it's all just dust for set 2 cards, which is good. I kind of want to craft more, but yeah, that game, definitely the turn that I traded off for the 3/1 flyer and then attacked in was just not a great series of events. Like, holding back would have been a more, like, reliable thing to do, even, so. If there's a point in the game that things went wrong, it was on that turn 4. Heck, I would actually put it back all the way on turn 1. I should not have played the flyer to start. When are they going to start giving set 2 packs for draft wins? To my knowledge, no. It's all set 1 packs still for draft wins right now. Like, playing the flyer on turn 1 probably was the biggest mistake because I knew that I was going to be using Lightning Storm to hold the ground and that it was just throwing away a card for 2 damage, which is not correct. Anyway, we got back basically all of our gold. We're down, I think, 500, so yeah, okay. That's perfect. That's a real good way to be. Yeah. So that's some Eternal for the night. I don't think I'm going to do any more because we've done, we got a good amount in. I was planning on doing some ranked games afterwards if things went kept going this way, but no, we had a good draft, so thank you all for joining. Hope you all had fun with this. I'm planning tomorrow tomorrow I'm likely going to be doing some Magic in the afternoon, assuming Magic Online is up, which isn't actually a real assumption, but there's a really good standard gauntlet that I am super looking forward to. The upcoming standard gauntlet that starts tomorrow, or today, I suppose, which is the Ravnica block standard. So look forward to that tomorrow, and probably probably a couple times throughout maybe twice, I don't know. Ravnica standard is one of my it's one of my favorite formats because it's when I started playing Constructed for real, rather than just playing for nothing. So, hope you all had a fun time with this. If you did, do consider sticking around and following the channel if you don't already. If you do and you want to support the channel a little more, you can always subscribe. We have an extremely cool sub emote that Strange showed off there. I'm very happy with it. And yeah, that's all for tonight. So thank you all for joining. Have a good night, everybody.